Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Parks Bros podcast. It is me, Drew, and can we have a roll call, boys?
Starting with who? I'll start.
Yeah.
I'm Mario, mostly coasters. What's up?
I'm Zach, Cali Coasters. Hey.
Dorian, Discorded.
So we are trying a new format for today. Instead of doing a live podcast with video of just me being awkward, we're trying a new format of us talking and just having it be more of a formal podcast where it's just our voices and it's not live. But let me know what you guys think down below, what you think would work best for this, just because it is kind of hard to figure it out completely, especially with not doing this for the longest time now. It's been almost a month since our last podcast, so I'm really interested to get back into this and doing this maybe every other week, maybe even possibly once a week, but we'll see how that is. But let's jump into some news, boys, shall we?
Yeah, if nothing else though, there should be less technical difficulty, so that's a plus.
True. Yes, there will
can
not be
only get
nearly
better
as
from
many technical difficulties. So, first item to talk about today, Six Flags rumored to buy SeaWorld Entertainment. What do you guys think?
That's an oof.
Great
thoughts, guys. Great thoughts.
I'm not trying to interrupt anybody. I'll go ahead and start. I think it's if it were to happen, it'd be fantastic for everybody involved.
Okay, yeah, I'd agree, honestly.
Like, one of the reasons it's good, obviously, is for and Dorian brought this up, is pass holders, or was it Dorian? I don't know, but for Magic Mountain pass holders, well, Six Flags pass holders, it's going to be fantastic for people in SoCal and San Antonio area.
Yeah, San Antonio for sure, and I think Florida will benefit as well because you have a Six Flags park in Florida. Finally.
Yeah, and that'll give more of an incentive for like the over Georgia park goers, maybe like a couple hours away, somewhat in between there and the Orlando parks.
Well, I think that's like a 6-hour time or like a 6-hour travel day for driving.
Yeah, but
so is Atlanta.
So is Discovery Kingdom, and we make that trip out there. So it's good, and I think it's good for SeaWorld. I think they'll benefit the most. After the whole Blackfish thing, obviously, their attendance went down.
Yeah.
But if you look at the attendance of the Busch Gardens Park, they weren't hit nearly as hard just because they don't have the SeaWorld name attached to them.
Yeah, most people don't even see them as the same chain.
Right. So if
they see them as two separate things.
If you get it rebranded as Six Flags and whatever the name might be, then it's no longer SeaWorld Orlando or SeaWorld San Diego. So it gets rid of sort of that stigma.
Yeah. What do you guys think they'd actually call these parks, though?
Yeah, I was actually just thinking about that. That'd be really interesting.
Six Flags Marine World, since they don't want to spend money on trademarking.
No.
They don't want to trademark a new name, so.
Well,
SeaWorld San Diego is going to be SeaWorld. Six Flags Discovery Kingdom 2.0.
Six Flags Kingdom Discovery.
Six Flags Geauga Lake. That's what they'll call it.
Oh,
Too soon?
No.
Okay, well, I heard, honestly, from Reddit, somebody commented, they're like, oh, Six Flags over Florida, Which, I don't know if they'd actually go with the over name,
I mean, they could.
They could.
Six Flags Florida.
It wouldn't be anything creative, obviously, but it wouldn't be anything laughable, at least.
True.
San Diego is just casually Six Flags Magic Ocean.
Six Flags.
I actually don't dislike that.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Because we have the mountain, and we have the ocean.
San Diego.
Yeah, it actually would be kind of smart. Six Flags Magic Ocean.
Well, what do you guys think about Six Flags San Antonio? What would you rename that?
Probably Six Flags over Texas.
Six Flags over Fiesta, Texas.
Six Flags next to Fiesta, Texas.
Yep.
Yup.
Because you definitely need something completely new for that. Because you can't do over Texas. You can't do Fiesta, Texas. You have to do something most likely without the Texas name.
In all reality, I wouldn't be surprised if they did go with Marine World.
Well, they have the rights to the name.
Yeah, exactly. It saves them some money, saves them some time.
Magic Ocean.
Yeah, Magic Ocean
Actually,
is honestly not
I
bad.
really like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Magic Ocean.
Yeah.
And then over Florida, it's settled. That's what they're going with.
Magic
Well, then
Swamp.
what about Busch Gardens Williamsburg then?
Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. No need
Six
to change
Flags
it.
over Europe?
Williamsburg.
Yeah,
Or over Virginia? You know, like what?
I don't know if they should change it, honestly. I mean, they don't call it Six Flags Darien Lake. I think it'd be smartest to just keep calling it Busch Gardens, quite frankly.
True.
Because they don't need the rebranding. People like the Busch Gardens brand, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. No, that's very true. I mean, I could see them keeping the Busch Gardens names with those two parks, but I just don't. Every other park would definitely be at least rebranded to Six Flags SeaWorld or something.
Yeah, it has to. Well, I don't think they would keep the SeaWorld name just because of that connotation that it has.
Oh, yeah, because it's looked so, far down upon.
Right.
You know what's going to be really fun for Six Flags is fixing like what SeaWorld did wrong. So,
well, I don't think they're going to fix much, if I'm being completely honest. I think it's more of just a saving face move.
Yeah. But then we got to think about the orcas still too. Like, what are they going to do with that whole shebang-a-bang?
I mean, they can't really
probably get rid of the orca. They're not going to have the orca exhibit, I don't think, or the orca shows in general.
I think at the least they won't have the shows. I don't know logistically how easy it is to get orcas out of Texas. Do they have orcas?
They got them in there. They got them in there.
Let me look this up. I want to see if SeaWorld San Antonio actually has.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not too familiar with SeaWorld, so I haven't been to SeaWorld Park in 10 years. So
if they wanted to keep the orcas at San Diego, then they should maybe get rid of the stadium show and like convert that whole area into like a more naturalistic enclosure area with way more gallons.
Yeah, I think that would be the right thing to do.
That would help out. And they can still do dinner by the Shamu and stuff, and they could still have them be interactive, but they're not going to have like full-on shows where it's like demanding on them.
Well, because I think people also have a problem with the shows themselves.
Well, update on that. There are orcas at SeaWorld San Antonio.
Yeah, so I don't know the logistics of
they'll get them out the same way they got them in.
Well, true, I guess, but a lot of them were born in captivity too. So I think that's another thing that they would have to do is make sure that they aren't. They don't have any new generation orcas.
Yeah, they have a Christmas show. It's called Shamu Christmas Miracles.
Oh. Well, the miracle would be if they got bought by Six Flags, honestly.
You're just like, I want that extra park on my pass.
It's not even that. I genuinely just think it's a good business decision for both Six Flags and SeaWorld. I mean, a lot of people have been suggesting that SeaWorld has been investing in their parks lately for somebody to buy them, and that would make sense. So,
yeah, I think it does.
I mean, and who else would buy it other than Six Flags? Cedar Fair is not in the market for new parks.
Merlin.
Yeah, true, I guess. But
I could see Merlin doing it, but I don't know if they'll actually pull the trigger.
In my mind, I see it being Six Flags more than anyone else, just because the fact that they're buying so many new parks.
Oh, yeah. Which might lead to their downfall is the problem in about 5 years,
Yeah, true.
Because this is kind of what happened in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
they spread themselves too thin.
Exactly, yeah.
And then go bankrupt,
I do think it'd be a good fit, though. I think they have experience with animals in their parks, and no one seems to be too upset at Discovery Kingdom or Great Adventure. So,
yeah, well, I think they do a great job with their animals, at least from what I've seen at Discovery Kingdom.
I agree,
especially compared to Lagoon.
No kidding, yeah.
So, I think it's going to be an interesting couple of months if this actually goes through, and we'll actually just have to see if our Six Flags passes work for SeaWorld next year if it goes through this year.
Well, I'm also curious if they will buy all the parks, because that's quite a large acquisition.
Well, the rumor is for all of SeaWorld Entertainment.
Oh, okay.
So that would be the Busch Gardens parks, all the SeaWorlds, even the one in Australia, and then Sesame Place.
Well, I wonder if like a third party, not a third party, but someone other than Six Flags is, what am I trying to say? If somebody other than a company that already operates theme parks is going to buy them as sort of just like a rebranding and just kind of operate the parks as is.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, because this could be the game changer for the next 2 years, I'd say, besides, a specific coaster.
Yeah, if they do it right, it would be massive.
And I think Orlando is a perfect fit for Six Flags already. It's already got a fantastic lineup.
Yeah, talking about Orlando, Six Flags does go through some we're talking like they just added 2 of the best flying coasters in the North America to their lineups on their parks then. Because now they'll have Tatsu and Mansa.
Tatsu?
Shush. I'm tired.
But yeah, they would literally have the 2 best flying coasters in North America.
Yeah.
So it would be quite the acquisition.
Well, they're also the only 2 B&M flyers in America, aren't they?
No, there's the Superman clones.
Ultimate Flights, yeah.
Oh, shoot, yeah. Gosh,
which are nothing special. I mean,
so basically,
I've actually ridden 2 of them, so that shows you how memorable they are. That just proves your point that they'd have the 2 best ones.
Meanwhile, they start installing the light-up wheels on Mansa.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like blue light-up wheels.
Dude, that'd be sick.
That would be, yeah.
Ooh, I actually just got a comment on one of my videos about this exact topic, and it's from Izzy. And he's saying, why ramp up installations of coasters across the chain if you're going to
what?
So realistically, SeaWorld building up their coaster lineups for the past couple of years and then selling it off. He's asking why they would do that. And I think it just makes it more intriguing and enticing for Six Flags.
I mean, it's Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's Roller Coaster Tycoon 101, man. Like, you add a new coaster, your park value goes up.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with actually, it's basically confirmed now, isn't it? RMC Gwazi in the next year, I think it was?
2020.
Yeah,
2020. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. Yeah, Six Flags is going to get a good deal here if they do it.
It makes plenty of sense to add a lot before you sell a park. I mean, it's like the same thing as like renovating a house before you try to sell it.
And they're definitely going more thrill oriented, so this is like more of a Six Flags alley, Cedar Fair alley too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'd actually argue it's better for Six Flags.
Yeah, they're going more ride focused for sure, regardless of whether or not they do sell the parks.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting once it goes through, if it does.
Well, how much do you think this would cost for Six Flags?
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. Like a heavy price.
Well, that's why I was kind of curious whether or not it was going to be all the parks, because it's insanely pricey. I mean, sure, they added about just as many parks this year, but those were all, those were a couple small water parks and then small amusement parks.
Maybe it'll be a over time acquisition. Like maybe they'll take all the SeaWorld name parks first, and then they'll see where it goes, and then they'll eventually get to Busch Gardens. You never know.
Well, yeah, like to me, it would make more sense if they just bought the SeaWorld parks and left the Busch Gardens park. But I really don't know. I know very little about this, so I'm just kind of talking.
Yeah, same. I'm just like
Six Flags CEO is just eyeing up Cheetah Hunt right now. Like, no, I want that in my lineup, bro.
I mean,
they have an Intamin Blitz in my lineup, but...
Yeah, which is something that would be awesome because we know an Intamin Blitz is not coming to any Six Flags park in the next 10 years. Actually, I don't even think an Intamin will be built at a Six Flags park for at least the next 5. So.
Yeah, after what we're hearing.
So.
I mean, are there any reasons that they wouldn't buy them out? Like, price, I guess, is the big one.
Price.
That's all I could think of. Yeah.
Heavy entrepreneurship.
Other than price, literally everything else is positive. It'll just boost everything.
It's a risk, really.
I personally can't think of any other potential buyers. I mean, you were saying Merlin, but I don't see it, but that's probably just because I don't know too much about Merlin, honestly.
Well, 5 months ago when the CEO of SeaWorld Entertainment was talking about possibly selling off the SeaWorld parks and not the Busch Gardens parks, Merlin was the first people that jumped to that conversation. Like, they were the first company to jump to that conversation.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I do think Six Flags now has a better chance of actually, going through with this.
It seems like a better fit to me for Six Flags to do it because they're used to operating parks with animals and in the United States. Merlin has parks in the U.S., sure, but they don't have full-scale amusement parks, so I don't know if they would be able to handle the operations.
Yeah, they literally have the Legolands.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know.
We'll just have to see.
Only time will tell. Yep.
And apparently a lot of people think that SeaWorld Entertainment is doing great now. I mean, they've only done great in the past quarter.
Are they?
Like business-wise. The quarter 3 earnings just came out, and yes, they're doing great there, but they haven't been doing great the last 2 years.
Well, yeah, how about attendance-wise?
Attendance-wise, it was going downhill until...
Yeah, it's been a decline.
Yeah, and until like a couple months ago. But people don't understand that 1 quarter of positive earnings is not going to change whether they sell or not, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's like the economy. It always fluctuates. So maybe they'll have good earnings this quarter, but then like what happens next quarter when it goes back down, if it does?
I honestly think next year it will go down.
Yeah. Unless Six Flags buys it, then we'll see.
Yeah.
If it does go through this.
I think Magic Mountain and SeaWorld San Diego are far enough away that they're pretty much their own regional park.
Oh, absolutely.
No, definitely. It's more than 2 hours apart.
Right. I mean, just think of how hard it is for Sammy to come up to Magic Mountain. She hardly ever goes because it's a nightmare to get up there from down there.
It's like a 3.5 hour drive on some days.
Oh, at least. I mean, it's a 3.5 hour drive for you guys to come up to Magic Mountain half the time. So
true, and it takes us 2 hours to get down to San Diego.
Right.
So like it could be like us going to Vegas, you know, for the day. So
and also like not to mention that they have their own population over 1 million. So it really is, like you said, like their own regional.
I think it's over 3 million.
Is it really? Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Let me look up.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it that 3 million is more than 1 million. So I'm not wrong.
Okay, in San Diego itself, there's 1.42.
But the county is like closer to 3, probably, huh?
Yeah, the county is 3.3 million.
Yeah. So it just shows you they have a huge market for it down there, and obviously tourism.
Yeah, and I mean they don't really have anything thrilling.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even at SeaWorld they don't.
But I mean, you have Legoland
And SeaWorld, so.
But SeaWorld could become the more thrilling upper family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whereas,
especially since they're going more towards that.
Yeah, and then Legoland, you know, stays as your kid-friendly, family-friendly park, you know. Wow, the more we talk about this, the more it just seems like it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, honestly.
It's going to be really cool to see if it actually does go through. It's going to be... I'd have high hopes for SeaWorld in the future. Well,
SeaWorld updates.
I just hope it doesn't bankrupt Six Flags again.
Yeah, that's the only reason I haven't bought stock in Six Flags too. Because sure, they're doing well, but they were doing well before 2007 too.
Yeah,
so. And then the 2008 stock market crash went. Hey, guess what?
Well, also just their like complete lack of attention to anything other than roller coasters in their parks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rip Astro World.
Oh, what do you guys think they do with theming?
I think they do like what they did with Discovery Kingdom. Like they keep like all their well, I don't know about shows, but all their aquariums and such, and then maybe add some coasters along the way.
Yeah.
Or probably add coasters along the way.
I agree.
I'd like to see them keep at least some of the shows, like maybe the Dolphin Show and Sea Lions Live, obviously, because that's like...
I don't know what's going on with their shows. I haven't really done much research in that, to be honest, but...
I don't think they would change that much. I think they'd leave it generally ocean-themed, honestly.
Yeah.
They do what they did with Discovery Kingdom.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe like Discovery Kingdom, they'll add a DC area for any new additions that they come up with, but...
A weird spot at the park.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't really see how DC is going to fit in. That's going to be weird to see.
I'm going to look at the land, actually.
It'll be...
Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman.
Aquaman. That would
especially with the new movie coming out.
I see it working like how it does at Discovery Kingdom. It's not fantastic. It's not like a fluid transition from, ocean to superheroes, but, it exists like that. So I could see them doing it there as well.
The Orca show takes a lot of land, actually.
It would be the best place to do an Aquaman ride.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I mean, literally, it's in a bay, pretty much. So
yeah, they literally have the stadium surrounding that bay area where they do their not circ shows, but they do like some circus style water weird performance thing.
But it would just make sense to have an Aquaman ride, as well as with the new movie coming out. Hopefully it's not a bomb and terrible, but
it's looking pretty decent from the trailers, but
it's not like Justice League was a good movie, but that ride still did well, so.
Yeah, true. I don't know. It should be very, very interesting to see.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited if it actually goes through.
If it goes through, there'll be a lot of happy people across the country, I think.
Especially all like the Diamond Elite, just memberships in general will be like, hey, another park to add to our lineup to be able to go through.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think they'd probably, for San Diego, try and add another coaster in the next couple of years if they were actually to purchase.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where they would put it.
You can't be a Six Flags park without more than 3 coasters or 4 coasters.
I'd like to see them actually
go ahead.
Put in a real roller coaster instead of just like the shuttles that they basically have right now.
Yeah.
Because their next tiers are basically just shuttle coasters, but it'll be nice to actually see a full circuit one at SeaWorld, San Diego.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the space for
other than Manta.
Well, I think you take out the Orca show.
Yeah, the Orca, that's what I was thinking. It takes
that.
up a little bit. That takes up quite a bit of space.
They could fit a nice sized ride there if they did take out the Orca space.
Yeah, and there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know how soon they'd be able to do that though, because like even at San Diego, it'd be a heck of a lot easier to get the orcas out of there and into the ocean. They're not acclimated to a natural environment, so I don't know how quickly they'd be able. No. I don't know how quickly they'd be able to get rid of the Orca show or the Orca Stadium.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the auditorium.
Well, yeah, I guess you don't need all the seating, so
because that auditorium's huge.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I see your
point. Yeah.
You could fit. You could almost fit Manta in that space.
Yeah. Actually, it'll be interesting seeing what they do with like all the behind the scenes tours and stuff that they offer too at SeaWorld.
I think they keep most of them.
Yeah, they'll probably
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say they have a lot of behind the scenes stuff at Discovery Kingdom, so.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there's an animal hospital right behind SeaWorld that's owned by them that I think I remember walking through a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be cool to walk through.
If you take out the Orca show, right next to it, you have like all the pumps and stuff.
Yeah, it's all the filtering.
That would, if that's just for the Orca show, I don't know if it is.
No, it's probably for the whole.
Yeah, it's for the whole park.
Yeah, it's gotta be for the whole park.
For the whole park.
Like I don't see that anywhere.
Probably
else.
For the drinking fountains.
Okay.
If you have a coaster there, you could actually probably have it go over the front entrance.
Yeah, you could.
That'd be interesting, actually.
And then where would it cross over to, though?
Well, it could be. What if it's a B&M hyper? What if you got a Mako type hyper if it goes over the entrance right there? Could you imagine that?
If they got a good hyper, I'd be a little PO'd.
Oh, I don't blame you.
If they got it before Magic Mountain.
I don't think Six Flags would hurt us that bad. It's like, you guys have been waiting for like so long, but guess what? San Diego got it first.
Well, we know their purchases have gone through at least 2020 for SeaWorld, so we wouldn't see any like Six Flags changes until like 2022 probably.
Yeah.
So,
do you think that's so? Because like, I don't know. I feel like they could be purchased in like before the rides are built.
Yeah, and I could see them taking out Shipwreck Rapids too, possibly.
I don't think they do that.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
It wasn't. Well, then again, I went not like 5 years ago, but I don't remember it being that fun.
But it's huge and it's a rapid ride and it's going to be very busy on hot days.
True.
Yeah. Also, it's not like any rapids ride is really that fun.
Yeah.
True.
they're all pretty much the same.
Dude, seeing Manta on this Google Maps is making me want to go on it again. I miss it.
I've never been on it.
SeaWorld,
I've never been to SeaWorld, actually.
Well, if Six Flags buys it, let's go. Wow, I never realized how small the holding pens for the Orca show is like compared to the actual tanks.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. That's why, like,
wow,
like we were talking about earlier, the way to get around that problem is just hold them in the tanks and let them live in the tanks instead of just, or the show area, I guess, instead of just the holding tanks.
Well, the problem is you couldn't really release them in the wild because they'd end up struggling.
Yeah, exactly.
So
sadly, you'd have to wait until they all passed away before they could do anything.
You just have to try and make try to make them as comfortable as you can until they die. Pretty messed up, but
which is kind of sad, but it's the best they can do now. If they wanted to go that route of putting stuff in the Orca area.
I think what you could do is you take out the seating for the show. You
lake.
No, what? Realistically, you cut the barrier off from the show tank and the waiting tanks, and you just make it all one big tank if you could. I don't know the logistics behind that, but the stadium, that section could be totally demoed, and then you could add a couple flats in there, and then also like this station for a coaster. And you could even have it like be Orca themed and call it something Shamu or something, you know?
I don't think they'd do that just for branding reasons.
Yeah. And because Blackfish,
yeah,
they ruined the whole name of Shamu, basically.
I mean, true. But I mean, I feel like they could totally put the station for a coaster there and then just have it go over the entrance in some way.
Well, you know, if they just kept the 2 rectangular back holding tanks and the side one that you could view them from, then they could take that whole entire hemisphere out and turn it into some stuff.
Yeah, this is a very interesting thing.
It'd be good. I want it to happen. It'd be nice.
I want it to happen too, I think.
Yeah, like the more we talk about it, the more it kind of feels like this really should happen.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I do think that they need to keep up the conservation efforts like they do, because SeaWorld has amazing confirmation, or, you know.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
But I just don't know if Six Flags would keep that up to that standard, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the only concern I have besides Six Flags possibly going bankrupt.
They wouldn't have to entirely abandon every single program they have at SeaWorld and fire all of the staff as well.
Yeah, no, they'd probably be mostly the same
staff. They would just acquire them.
Just different management.
Right, so I don't think that's actually too big of a concern.
Oh, one thing I want to mention is the Sesame Street characters. They'd probably just keep those because SeaWorld Entertainment has the rights to use them in their parks. And if they were to purchase SeaWorld Entertainment, Six Flags could probably use them, because that's what happened with the Peanuts at Knott's with Camp Snoopy and everything. That was how Cedar Fair acquired the Snoopy rights to their parks, was by purchasing Knott's.
Yeah, but it depends on the deal. If it's a licensing deal that they need to renew every few years, then they probably wouldn't.
Well, then what do you do to Sesame Place?
Rebrand it to Bugs Bunny. You laugh, but that's what they would do if instead of
it is what they would do. But
Six Flags hates licensing stuff. That's why Terminator the ride was only Terminator Salvation the ride for a year. They don't like renewing licenses.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal with SeaWorld and Sesame Street is, but unless they have the rights like in perpetuity, then Six Flags would not want to pay the licensing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you really think that they'd change Sesame Place just to all Bugs Bunny stuff?
I don't know.
I feel like it's not a draw anymore. You
know what? Yeah, that's actually that's an interesting point, because in Orlando, I think they are making a new Sesame Street. They're redoing like their Sesame Street area, or making a new one, or something along those lines. I see.
Yeah, they're redoing it.
Yeah,
right now.
and a parade too.
So that would be kind of silly to have an entirely new area for Sesame Street and get rid of it. So I don't know. I guess they would keep it.
Yeah. Well,
I just think they're too cheap. I guess I have not a whole lot of faith in them.
Well, they're definitely spending more money than we thought they had, at least in the past year or so.
Yeah, let's hope they're not spending more money than they do have.
Yeah, true.
To get back to your point of hoping they don't go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Do you think it's time to move on to another topic? Because I think we could probably talk about this one all night.
Yeah, I could talk about it all night.
Yeah.
We're just going in circles at this point.
Pretty much.
Like, yeah, it's a great idea. You know,
it's a fun circle.
What type of coaster they would do? It's a really good idea. SeaWorld should really consider, or Six Flags should really consider.
Well, everything.
I was kind of like, wait, did they remove the submarine ride? I'm like, oh wait, no, they didn't.
Everything that we're talking about too is just contingent on them buying the park.
Yeah, true though.
So
but
like,
I think it's expected.
Oh, what would Six Flags do? It's like, well, they'd have to buy the park first.
Well, what Six Flags have to do? Buy it?
I mean, I expect it to happen, to be honest with you.
I would really like to see it.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Also, I'd love to see the expansion of SeaWorld San Antonio. Looking at it on a map right now, it's pretty sad.
Oh, there's plenty of room for it too.
Oh yeah, easily. There's so much blank space. Granted, 2020 wooden coaster, so we'll see.
Well, I thought those slides were fake, though, the ones that came out.
Nope.
You sure?
Yeah, they confirmed it.
Interesting.
At least I'm pretty sure they did.
I thought they were fake.
Well, it's gotten everything right so far. Actually, no, there was an executive from SeaWorld Parks that was like, yep, this is real stuff.
Really?
Yeah. At least for Orlando. And a launch coaster in 2020.
So.
Because
some of the stuff looked ridiculous.
Yeah. True.
But sometimes, like, honestly, the amusement parks do a pretty bad job of presenting their future attractions.
Oh, yeah. You could honestly have, like, a bus service running from SeaWorld San Antonio to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas.
There you go. That's a good idea. But they wouldn't make money off it. They would lose money on it. So for $5, you can go to the other park.
Let me look. It's a 20-minute drive.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't know that they would do that.
I mean, it's something that Disney does with Orlando, but I don't know if they'd actually spend that money for a bus service unless it costs you money, unless you're like Diamond Elite.
Yeah, I think
so.
Well, actually, if they charge $5 for it, they would not only make up for the cost, they'd probably make money on it, and I would be down to pay $5 instead of having to drive over there and park again and drive back.
Yeah. Because you just take the highway 1604, and it's 15 miles, and boom, 20-minute drive. Yeah, wow. Okay, so I just got a comment on one of my videos, and it's kind of the opposite of what we were saying. It's pretty much just hating on Six Flags and the idea.
What are their statements? And
that they're prioritizing quantity over quality, this is a direct conflict with Busch Gardens and SeaWorld. Which SeaWorld, I would argue, no, but Busch Gardens, I would say, yeah.
I kind of agree. I mean, they don't need all the parks. They're doing just fine, I think.
True.
But at the same time,
it would help SeaWorld at the same time if they did end up buying it.
Yeah, I think the parks are a bit of a burden on them, quite honestly.
Well, that's what the CEO was saying a couple months back.
Yeah.
Well, not the Busch Gardens parks, but
SeaWorld, because it's actually
SeaWorld
name brand SeaWorld, yeah.
I don't know. Making the argument that it's quantity over quality is somewhat true, but I think Six Flags is also improving their quality a little bit as well. I mean, not to like Cedar Fair standards, but compared to old Six Flags.
They could get there if they tried hard enough.
Well, I mean, look at West Coast Racers. That's going to be fully themed.
Yeah, so like getting better.
So they're stepping up their game, you know.
With a fully themed area as well.
Six Flags is just definitely working up towards being better, just overall.
It's not just Magic Mountain either. Over Georgia is getting a new themed area with their flat ride as well.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
So, yes, they are focusing a little more on quantity than quality, but they're not just focusing on quantity.
Yeah. Especially with 2019, it seems.
Also, I don't know that people making that argument have necessarily been to Discovery Kingdom or Great Adventure.
True. The interesting thing with Discovery Kingdom, though, is like they're getting something new every single year.
Yeah, they're becoming a much better park, ride-wise.
Oh, yeah. They're really trying to compete with CGA.
I mean, you take out Harley Quinn Crazanity from the equation, and their last... Did I just call it Harley Quinn Crazanity? Crazy Coaster, whatever it is. It's such a bad ride that I just try to forget about it. But if you take that out of the equation, their last 3 rides have been hits. So
I'm interested to see what Crazy Coaster is going to be like when I go up there.
And Batman's going to be a great fit for that park.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a perfect fit for that park, in my opinion.
Especially after me riding the one at Fiesta, Texas. I loved the thing. It was great.
Better than Green Lantern?
Oh, yeah. It's what Green Lantern should have been.
It's what Green Lantern will be. I'm just kidding.
I don't know about that one, bud.
Yeah, I don't think. No.
Speaking of Green
Lantern.
Speaking
of Magic Mountain.
Yeah, it's at Magic Mountain. It's at Magic Mountain.
So, shall we talk about Magic Mountain then, I take it?
Sure.
Right, Zach?
Yeah.
We can talk about a park I've actually been to.
That's I feel
like I've just been like silent and being like, yeah. Mm-hmm,
Wait, was I like the only one out of all 3 of you guys that's been to San Diego SeaWorld?
I haven't been in 10 years.
But yeah, I haven't been in
recently, like within the last 5 years.
Yeah,
I've never
probably.
Been.
Wow. Okay.
I've never ridden a coaster there. I've been as a little baby.
Well, if it's owned by Six Flags, you got to make a trip down there then.
Yep.
I want to make a trip I don't know. I don't know if it really matters actually.
Anyway, I think next year might as well go at least once, you know.
To like SeaWorld and then
that's it.
Yeah, because I don't think they go fully through with the acquisition, you know, within the next 2 months. So
yeah, especially since they just bought a lot of parks, I don't know that it would necessarily make sense. But then again, just as a disclaimer to everybody, I know nothing about anything. So
well, the Disney Fox deal is taking years, you know.
Right.
Granted, it's not as big a sale as that, but it would still take at least 3-4 months at the very minimum to like fully go through.
Yeah, and then switch over all the systems to the new.
And then figure out how you're going to do passes for people that bought SeaWorld passes, but then you have to change up to Six Flags passes, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They do have some experience in that area, though, with the parks that they recently acquired.
True. But, yeah, let's go to Magic Mountain, shall we?
Yeah, when?
We're like, yeah, let's go to Magic Mountain. Continues to talk
when
about
are we going to Magic Mountain?
I don't know. Sometime soon, hopefully.
Oh, okay. Or did you mean in the discussion?
Well, let's talk about it in the discussion, too. So I got a comment on one of my videos in the past 24 hours about markers next to Tatsu, the Rapids, Viper, and Ninja. What are your guys' thoughts?
It's exciting.
T-Rex.
Regardless of what it is, it's exciting, I think.
I'd agree, Dorian.
If it's not a T-Rex, it's not exciting.
Oh my god, Zach. I'm just like trying to think I'm actually thinking of the scope of that, like from Viper all the way down to Ninja is like a really far distance. So if that's connected in any way and it's a coaster, that's going to be crazy to think about.
Well, let me go to maps.
I want it to be a transportation ride.
It might be. You never know.
And that's only slightly being sarcastic.
Viper to Ninja, though? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe it'll go even further, okay?
I guess that's possible. I just don't see that being a smart decision.
But like, yeah, if that's connected in any way, then like whatever they're planning on, it's going to be insane if it's anything to do with thrill rides.
Right.
I say if you have
transportation system.
If you have a transportation system, it needs to go from like where Sandblasters / Jam and Bumpers is.
Didn't Six Flags used to have like a monorail?
To Full Throttle. Oh yeah, it had a monorail at one point. The track's still there.
Some of it.
But you need something to cut across where Superman and Gold Rush are.
Or go from the back of the park to Samurai Summit. No, yeah, the transportation ride there makes no sense. I would like a transportation ride instead of having to walk like 20 miles every time I go.
Same.
Yeah, because it would have to go like under Revolution and then next to Tatsu, and then it would literally cut over like 5 different paths.
Yeah, it'd be sweet.
It's actually
but in all seriousness, whatever it is, it's probably going to be big because we know it's not coming next year.
Yeah, for sure.
And then if they're starting to put out markers now, that means that this has been in like the works for a while.
What if it's for 2020?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be.
That's what this possibly is going to be.
But I also haven't seen the markers, so I have no idea.
Yeah, true. I mean, we really don't know exactly where these are, so...
Well, I will soon.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Unless you want to go up like a week before I do, and you can probably get footage of it.
Because here, okay, in some bushes by Tatsu Roaring Rapids, saw something by Viper by the Chinese food place.
Oh.
Possibilities are that this is probably just a new plant marker. Saw some near Jetstream as well.
Oh. Well, yeah, then it could be something totally insignificant.
Oh, yeah, it totally could be. But, I mean, it's interesting that they're putting out markers for them, though, you know?
The fanboy within each of us is like, please.
Oh, yeah, because that's what we do as coaster enthusiasts. But, like, why? I don't know if they put out a full-size marker, right? But if they did, like, why would they do that for a plant?
Yeah.
It's like the lizards at Bigfoot. They're hinting towards something.
Yeah.
Plus, it's not like Magic Mountain has added any trees in the past 10 years. They mostly just remove them.
Well, they're going to add a couple for next year.
Yeah, like 4 palm trees.
Yeah.
They're making oxygen better.
They took at least 20 trees out for Crazy Entity.
Well, they took out probably another 10 to 15 at least for West Coast racers as well.
Yeah, so
actually probably like 30 looking at the maps right here.
I don't know that they're plant markers, but I haven't seen them. And again, I know nothing about anything.
The problem is with these markers, though, is that they're intertwined with 5 or 6 different major attractions.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because you have Tatsu, Jetstream, Ninja, Viper, New Revolution that it would have to go through.
But depending on the size of the attraction, it would probably be built in like segments, so you wouldn't necessarily have to have all of those rides closed down during the construction of it.
Make a tunnel.
Close down an entire quarter of the park just to make the tunnel.
Like, I don't know, man. But if they're going to build on that mountaintop for 2020 or 2021, they're going to have to start doing stuff now.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Or at least within the next 6 months.
It'd also be nice to see a nice redo of that mountaintop because it's starting to get cracked from what I've been seeing.
That's on the list.
Well, I mean, that's the direction they're going in.
Yeah.
They're going counterclockwise, so.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, for 2019 or for 2020, it's going to be Baja Ridge, where Viper X2 is, and then 2021 is going to be Samurai Summit for the 50th. So
I mean, those are the only 2 places left that need it.
Yeah, at least until like the full throttle stage needs redoing, but I mean that won't be for another 5 years at least.
They could work on the entrance, but other than that,
yeah, they could.
Yeah.
But I mean, what would you do? Just like clean it up, you know?
Remove the prison bars.
Yeah, remove the prison bars or make them look nice.
Yeah, the front gate changed would be nice. Yeah.
The entrance sign is lackluster. The parking entrance kind of sucks too. Other than that, it's great.
Mario, you want to pull out your list?
Twisted Colossus needs to do more.
Yeah.
He doesn't deny it either.
I don't know, guys. I mean, do you really... Man.
I remember
not to talk about this, but Terrain Giga?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it has to some capacity be a terrain coaster, if it is a coaster, if it is even an attraction at all. Right.
That's a really hard if right there.
I remember Mario's rant.
Which one?
It was like walking back to the parking lot. And at first you were ranting about how Twisted Colossus doesn't duel as often, and then it went to everything else. That's like
true. I got that on video too.
It was a good rant. Don't get me wrong.
Sometimes you just have a Six Flags day.
Mario's next rant is going to be how the fountains still don't have water in them. I mean the soda machines.
And how absurd that line was.
Oh, geez, that was crazy.
Oh, don't even,
yeah.
But yeah, it has to be a terrain coaster, right? If it's a coaster, because of the nature of that area, you can't change the terrain because the other attractions are already settled there.
I mean, I'd even argue Tatsu is a terrain coaster too.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
You know, I mean, at some parts, it's as low as it could be.
Right. The loop.
So, especially like going over that pathway.
Yeah. It's either going to ride the terrain or be high above it, which we know from Tatsu is a really cool experience.
Yeah. I'd like to see it close to the ground, though, for a majority layout, if it's a coaster.
Yeah, especially if you're flying through the trees while going with the terrain.
It would be so much cheaper, too.
It'd be cheaper and it'd be a lot cooler.
The ultimate coaster that I think everyone would like to see, but is definitely not going to happen, would be Intamin Blitz. That would just be mind-blowing. Terrain Intamin Blitz going through the trees.
Oh my gosh. That'd be like my Blitz that I'd made, except for the theming, obviously. But
I feel like a lightning rod style ride would work really well, too.
Blitz.
Well, it doesn't have to be a blitz. You know.
You saying Blitz and going through the trees, all I'm thinking about is they're going to be like the Flash.
I don't care what they call it. It could be anything, and I would love it.
Max Force 2.
Faster acceleration than Max Force.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's just not that much space for it.
Unless they got rid of something.
Which they could.
Well, there's space going over and around things. There's plenty of room.
Yeah, if you're like compacting everything.
Yeah.
Which an Intamin Blitz does.
Exactly.
It's not going to be Intamin. We know that.
Okay, well, fine. Gosh, ruin my dreams. Why don't you?
A Mac Blitz.
Well, I don't think it's going to be Mac anyway.
Guys, it's going to be a Gerstlauer Infinity Dive Coaster. Okay.
Please, no.
Please
it wouldn't be, I don't think it would be a launch coaster, honestly.
If they had another launch coaster.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think they should have had West Coast Racers be a launch coaster. So,
well, let's think about this. There's only 3 launch coasters in the park, right?
Yeah, there's only 3.
What do you mean? How many are at Cedar Point?
2.
Well, you have Top Thrill. You have Maverick.
Top Thrill. Yep, that's the one I forgot. Wicked Twister.
Oh, Wicked Twister. So there's 3 there. I mean,
yeah, and they don't need another one either.
But like Knott's has how many? 3, right?
3.
Yeah, and they've only got 10 coasters.
Wait, 3?
I think you could pull off 4.
Do you realize?
Yeah.
you sound
like Montezuma.
You sound so spoiled right now. Knott's only has 10 coasters, and Magic Mountain only has 3 launch coasters. Meanwhile, like people in like Wyoming or like Oregon are like,
Colorado,
you know what? You can go screw yourself.
Somebody in Seattle just like, it's too cold up here, please.
I don't know. I think they could do a 4th.
Oh, dang it, we got a dueling freaking premiere coaster.
Yeah,
we got a dueling Twisted Colossus RMC clone, but it's like so
gosh, dang it. What the heck?
When are we gonna get something good?
Oh my gosh.
When are we gonna get something good? It's not like any other park would have greatly appreciated this and been like, "Oh my god, thank you, Six Flags gods."
That's what it's like. Let's look at parks in Colorado.
But I mean, I'm thinking Lightning Rod. What if it was an inclined launch?
Okay, do you want the downtime of Lightning Rod?
Well, that's
okay.
completely
That's
besides
the
point.
company's fault.
Yeah, I mean, another launch. It wouldn't be bad. It just wouldn't be the best option.
No, it wouldn't be the best. But like, I feel
unless
like
it's a Blitz.
You cannot disagree that it won't be a Blitz.
Mario, what if it's a T-Rex, bud?
Yeah, well, if it's that model that they had at IAPA, then that's incredible. Then it's a lift and a launch. That's something new to the park.
Oh yeah, an
RMC counted as
Blitz.
2 coasters.
No,
that's in the form of a T-Rex.
I don't think they'd do a launch though, just because of Lightning Rod and. It's not even something you could say, oh, they've learned from their mistakes, because it'd be a completely new model doing a launch too.
I'm still extremely interested in where that T-Rex is going.
Yeah, it's going to be... Actually, you know what? Let's talk about that for a little while. Where do you guys think the first T-Rex is going? Because we know one's been purchased for sure.
I have no idea.
Well, let's start it out with this. Six Flags or Cedar Fair?
Oof.
Well, if Six Flags is going to go ahead and buy SeaWorld, then I'd say Cedar Fair because they're saving money a little bit more right now.
It's really tough because both bought a Raptor, and I feel like they kind of would want to see how well that does, and they've seen how well it does.
Yeah.
So either would probably be interested in buying it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's so up in the air.
But I mean, one's been bought, so...
Watch it just be some random company that nobody knows about.
It's gonna go to like Denver.
Exactly. Nah, watch us be like super trolled and ends up going to like Asia.
It could.
It can go to like.
It definitely can.
There was an ad in China about a raptor.
What?
There was an ad like a year ago about a raptor going to China, but that has never happened yet, or it hasn't happened yet.
Well, I'd hope it's just a raptor. If China gets the first T-Rex. You can tell some people are going to be pissed in the United States though.
Oh yeah, but I mean, heck, their middle class is doing fantastic, so they're able to spend their money on entertainment like theme parks, and they are
like the 2 other 4D coasters in the world. Oh, wait, no, those are in Japan.
One's in Japan, one's in China.
One's in Japan, one's in China. Yeah, okay, there we go.
I don't know. I really have no clue. I feel like it could be either, really.
Everyone's saying Six Flags Great Adventure, but I don't think
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean,
it's possible, but I feel like that's
that's the problem. I feel like every single, well, maybe not every single park, but I feel like at least half the parks in
Valley
both.
Fair.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said that. Valley Fair and like Six Flags St.
Feel like they could get it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like half the parks in both chains could get it. I don't know.
I think for the first model, it's going to be a tester. It's not going to be anything big.
Right.
Well, then look at the test parks for both chains. Then I guess I don't know.
Well, the test parks for Cedar Fair is Canada's Wonderland and Knott's mainly.
Well, we know Canada's Wonderland isn't going to get
Carowinds in there a little bit, but also all three of those parks have gotten coasters in the past 2 years.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be.
But then Six Flags testing parks, what are those? I'd say Fiesta Texas, and then probably Over Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over Texas did get the first conversion, so.
Yeah, and Fiesta got the first T-Rex, or freaking Raptor.
And it also got the second conversion. And it also got like the new gen Aero Mine Train in 1998, and then a spaghetti bowl coaster.
Did it get the first free fly? Who got the first free fly?
Yeah, it got the first free fly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Then we gotta think: is it gonna be East Coast or West Coast then, guys?
And is it gonna be racers?
If they use the IAPA version, that'd be insane. If like that was actually a real thing.
I don't know if they'd do that right out of the gate.
First one, yeah.
But I don't know.
I honestly could even see it being at one of the weaker Six Flags or Cedar Fair parks that just hasn't gotten a coaster in like 10 years. Now that I think about it.
So could I. I could see it at Worlds of Fun.
Because if it flops, they don't really have anything to lose.
Well, actually, Worlds of Fun is too far, I think.
I kind of doubt that an RMC T-Rex would flop, though, just knowing that.
Oh, yeah, the entire enthusiast community would flock to it.
Pedigree behind it, just, Alan's going to give a good ride.
Well, by flop, I mean if it has, like, technical issues and stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, just because of that.
Like, it's not going to result in as much outrage from general park goers.
And then they'll fix it, and then they'll come and put it in, like, a super high attendance park.
Yeah. I think they stand less to lose by putting it in one of the lower performing parks.
I'm still surprised that there was only 2 Raptors.
Really?
First of many.
Yeah.
I feel like 2020 there's going to be at least another 2.
Yeah. The thing about that is that when we think about the T-Rex is that it's going to be the first T-Rex, but then like there's going to be more coming after it, obviously, once they see what it does.
I think the reason there's not any that are confirmed to be coming next year, at least as far as I'm aware, is because they wanted to see how they performed first. Unlike the not necessarily so bright people at SeaWorld who ordered the Skyline Skywarp before seeing the atrocity that unfolded at Discovery Kingdom.
That model could be possibly better because it's more low lying to the ground. You never know.
It'll be better, but it won't be good.
If I'm a company, I'm not risking it, But they did because they bought it before seeing how the other one performed. So that's probably the only reason we're not seeing Raptors next year, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's probably the real reason. But 2020, I'm sure there's going to be at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
Now, what parks? I don't know. I'd love to see one go to World of Fun. Dorney could be a good fit. It could be a decent fit, I think.
A Raptor would literally be a good fit at any park, honestly.
Well, we know when one's not coming to Knott's because didn't somebody said that one in the West Coast was enough for Cedar Fair.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it's completely different regions, but whatever.
It's pretty much a different state theme park wise. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
But yeah, it's. I think it's impossible to say this early on. There's no information to go off of.
Yeah.
Other than it's not going to be a park that's getting a coaster this year or next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Well, do you think it's going to be 2020 or 20?
Or what? You cut out. I'm assuming you said 2021.
Yeah, one of the 2.
I really have no idea. As another disclaimer, I know nothing about anything.
It'd be more interesting if they waited until 2021 to kind of build up hype for it.
I'm guessing 2021 because the main media person or tour guide or whatever at the RMC plant was talking about how they really want the Raptor to grow and become more of an interest for parks. So, I mean, that they'd have to wait till 2020 for that,
Yeah.
So I really think it's going to be 2021 when we see the first T-Rex. But what would Magic Mountain be getting in 2021 then? Because I don't think it'd be the first T-Rex.
Maybe a T-Rex in the future, but not the first.
Yeah.
It could be, though. I mean, I know
it could be.
It's not a test park, but it's gotten some coasters that are the first of its kind, you know?
It is their flagship park, yeah.
Well, actually, it is kind of a tester park, though. If you think about it, I mean, Tatsu was...
Oh, never mind. Just kidding.
Tatsu is the biggest of it and longest, fastest of its kind at the time it was built. Revolution was the first, modern vertical loop coaster. Full Throttle.
Dueling RMC.
Full Throttle was like the first of its kind model. Well, technically it was like the second or third.
So it's almost like they have like the tester parks and then they kind of just go big with like big tester.
And Gold Rusher was the first Aero mine train.
Was it really?
Or I think, or it was like one of the first.
Someone fact check that.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. But then, Superman.
First coaster to go 100 miles per hour, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's debatable.
It has hit.
According to Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Okay, it was over Texas. That was the first mine train by Aero. But Gold Rusher was one of the first.
And X2 was definitely the first. So.
Oh yeah, and that's a huge tester.
Yeah, that's a definite big
Apocalypse was the first GCI for Six Flags, right?
The chain? No, Roar.
Yeah.
Roar at Discovery Kingdom was before that.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, okay.
If nothing else.
So, not that. Riddler's longest, tallest, fastest of its kind when it was built.
Yeah, but that's not a new thing.
Well, no, but still.
So I guess the point we're getting at is that they could get it because they like to do new and
they do try new things.
Outrageous and bigger and better things.
Ooh, that could be...
I feel like what we've gotten out of this conversation is, it could be anything, anywhere.
Yeah, true. Pretty much, we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but that's better than being like, it's gonna be this, and then just being completely wrong.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if I was to straight out go, oh, yeah, it's going to Six Flags over Georgia, it's going to be 400 feet tall. No.
It is, though. No. That is what's going to happen.
And Magic Mountain will get the Blitz.
Shut up about the Blitz. We don't need a Blitz. We have Viper.
What?
What? What just came out of your mouth?
We don't need a Blitz. We have Jetstream.
We don't need one of the best coaster models in the world. We have one of the worst coaster models in the world. We're set.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't. Oh man, do you guys think that Magic Mountain will have a resort in the next couple of years?
It's possible. They bring in enough crowds.
I think it could. I know. The park president kind of hinted towards it when someone asked him about it, but
you're right.
Because someone asked him, is there the possibility of a resort in the near future? And he's like, I don't know. It sounds like a pretty good idea, though.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah,
that is a really good question.
I just don't know where they'd put a resort. Looking at a map, they don't really own any of the land around the park.
The Sky Tower.
That would be sick.
If anything, they'd have to take out maybe some parking space.
Yeah.
Which they could.
They do have that, like the gravel/dirt parking lot, like across the road, into the parking lot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like when you're driving in on the right side as opposed to the left side.
Yeah.
They could put a hotel there.
They could.
And then just figure something else out for overflow parking.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really think they're going to need to do a parking structure before long.
They do own all that land driving up to the park, I'm pretty sure, though.
On the right side?
Magic Mountain Parkway. Yeah, on the right side. On Magic Mountain Parkway.
I thought they did not own that.
Do they not? Oh.
I think it's like office building companies or whatever.
Huh.
Yeah. But they do have the Hilton Garden Inn that's right there. But at the same time, that's still pretty far away. It's quite the walk.
They could rearrange parking to have like around the same number of spots. I mean, they could also expand the regular parking into employee parking and move employee parking elsewhere.
Oh, well, where would you put the employee parking, though? It's kind of already squished enough.
Elsewhere.
Where Apocalypse is? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's not what I was thinking, but yeah, that works out great.
I don't know. I think they're probably going to need to do a parking structure before long, even if it's like a quarter of the main lot.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They have that parking lot is massive. They should not need to do.
Huge. But yet it fills up a lot of the time, especially during Fright Fest and holidays at the park, especially after Christmas.
True.
It just kind of sucks though, because it is pretty much landlocked at this point. Doesn't seem like it, but it really is. Yeah.
I remember asking about that, and he was like, "Oh no." I was like,
But if you're really looking at it, I mean, they can't physically expand the park border.
Well, yeah, like from a park border perspective, but I think it's interesting. I think if they had better planning from the get-go, there would be like rides closer together, therefore more open spaces, as opposed to like a little bit too much room between the rides, if that makes sense.
Well, I don't think they were ever expecting a giant housing project to happen on the freaking side of a hill that's right there, you know?
Or like back in the 80s, they probably weren't expecting to have 20 coasters.
Well, I could actually see them expecting to have maybe 15.
With the rate they've been building.
But the fact that they literally have all around them, space has been bought up. Because on Magic Mountain Parkway, it's like half office buildings right now, and they're setting up for more. And then you have the housing project on the other side of the park. It's crazy.
I'm gonna look on Google Maps.
Newhall Ranch. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyways, let's talk about something else, shall we? Before we probably wrap up.
Kong.
What?
What?
So let's go to our final topic of tonight, Marvel Land. We found out a couple interesting things about Marvel Land and what possibly will be happening in Phase 1 and Phase 2. Let's get into it. Apparently none of you guys do. All right. So I'm going to talk about this then. So realistically, the old Tough to Be a Bug attraction is being torn down as we speak.
R.I.P.
Yeah. That will be supposedly where the new Spider-Man attraction is, which will be a shooting dark ride a la Buzz Lightyear and Toy Story Midway Mania, but with like spider webs. Yeah, which really kind of stinks. But the entrance will be where the bathrooms are right now with the tissue box, like the giant tissue box in Bugs Land. That is supposedly where the entrance will be.
What? That's my commentary. I'm just going to make sound effects in response to what you're saying.
Oh.
And then there will be a Doctor Strange like show, which will be kind of cool to see. And then that's pretty much it for Phase 1. At least that I can remember off the top of my head. What do you guys think of that?
It'll be cool while it lasts. Like Bugs World. Whatever it's called. Bugs Life Land. Bugs Land. Bugs Bunny World.
Bugs Bunny World.
Well, Zach, what do you think about this?
I don't know enough about it, really.
Well, I mean, what do you think about the idea of another ride?
Another.
You cut out. Yeah, another ride. That's what we heard.
Oh, another shooting dark ride.
Oh, shooting. I thought you said another bad ride.
Another shooting dark ride at a Disney park. What do you feel about that?
It depends on the experience. Like, if it's similar to like Buzz Lightyear or Toy Story, but I don't know. It just depends if they actually do something different with it, or if it's like any other of their shooting dark rides.
I'll agree with that, despite the fact that I don't go to Disney. I'm always a fan of seeing something new and unique come to parks, and that does not seem like it's new and unique.
Dorian?
Yeah, I mean, it's just Disney doing Marvel properties again, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be cool. It's just going to be
whatever happened to the Tron model that was bought?
We don't know yet, but I'll get into that.
Okay.
Okay.
So realistically, what we've heard for Phase 2 is that it will be behind Guardians of the Galaxy in that backstage portion, and it will include an e-ticket roller coaster ride for the Avengers.
Ooh.
Wait, what? I heard roller coaster. I checked out until I heard roller coaster.
So you know the Tron coaster, right, Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Disney bought a third Vekoma model exactly like that. So, but Phase 2 of Marvel Land is supposedly going to include an Avengers roller coaster e-ticket attraction.
Oh, I heard roller coaster again.
And it would be near Guardians of the Galaxy.
Huh. Well, yeah, I mean, you get a roller coaster in there, then you're bringing something new and exciting instead of just another shooting dark ride. Who has 2 shooting dark rides in one park, honestly? That is just
Disney.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah. Well, let's think about this. There's 2 in DCA, right?
1, right. But there will be 2.
Well, yeah. And then you have Buzz Lightyear at Disneyland.
Yeah, I mean, having the 2 in the 2 different parks, even though it's the same resort, that's one thing. But having 2 in one park, especially when you already have 2 in the same resort.
I feel like Buzz Lightyear's going soon. And that's why they're putting in
that's why they're putting it park. In. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So you'll have 2 in one park and then 0 in the other? What is that malarkey?
I from what I've heard, they're just trying to keep a more kid-friendly area of the park, or at least a tiny section like where Bugs Land was. So, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, but there's plenty of kid-friendly rides that don't involve shooting things.
True. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking that Buzz Lightyear will be gone soon. Star Tours might bite the dust as well. But
bite the dust.
No, Tomorrowland will probably be completely changed within the next 6 years.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with DCA?
I don't know.
Drew's just going off on Disney stuff right now.
Yeah.
No, I see your point. Like, it makes sense from like a resort perspective, but I don't know. To me, it doesn't make sense to put a very similar ride type in the same park. I mean, with the exception of dark rides, because those are different by their story, not because of the ride type. But a shooting dark ride, it's you don't need 2 in one park.
Yeah, true.
It's gonna
unless it's completely different than Toy Story Mania, which it might be.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, if it's like more, I don't want to say interactive, but
immersive.
It could be.
Not just screens all over the place, like more.
Yeah, it would have to be more immersive.
Yeah,
realistic, quote unquote.
It'll be interesting having Star Tours and Star Wars Land in the same park, but not in the same area.
That's true.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts, though.
Yeah.
Just move the building.
No, they would push it somewhere else.
But yeah, if they were to do anything to Star Tours, it's going. But I really don't know about Star Tours, but I could see Buzz Lightyear pretty soon.
Actually, driving by Disneyland on the 5 on Monday, you could see the top of Star Wars Land, like over the buildings, basically. Like, it's kind of crazy how fast they're going with it.
Well, it's been a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but it's like,
get owned.
It's still like, what? It's like,
yeah, it's pretty big. You can see it from a majority of the park.
It's going to be crazy when it opens.
Oh, yeah, easily.
It's going to be a nightmare.
Are you going on opening day?
Well, let's, I mean, if I have to wait the 18 hours, I probably will.
Ooh.
It's going to be a bad time.
Yeah, you're going to get on like one ride.
They only have one ride.
There's 2.
Yeah, like, wasn't there 2?
There's 2.
They're 2 screen rides, so they count as one ride to me.
Okay, one of them's a screen ride, one of them's a physical ride.
Oh, okay.
Ugh.
With screens.
With screens.
With screens.
There's barely any screens in one of them.
Oh.
For which one? Oh, you're talking about, okay. No.
All right,
I'm just being a hater right now.
Do you want me to give you the lowdown on Galaxy's Edge?
Lay me down for the lowdown.
All right, can do, boyo. So there are 2 rides. One is the Millennium Falcon ride, which is, yes, it is a simulator ride, but everybody has a different job. So there's 6 seats per capsule.
Yeah, that one sounds interesting.
The 2 in front will be pilots. The 2 in the middle will be shooters, and they'll like shoot TIE fighters. And then the 2 in
one
back,
of you will be a Wookiee.
Nope. And then the two in the back will be engineers repairing the ship as you go along if you have a bad pilot or bad fighters.
Well, that doesn't sound fun.
So basically, you can roast your friends if they crash the ship.
Oh, just wait.
I mean, the ride sounds fun. I just mean like, oh, I want to be the pilot. Yeah, I want to be the shooter. Yeah, I want to be the repair guy. That sounds fun.
Just don't repair the ship and sabotage it.
They're actually going to come out with a new option. You can be the janitor on the ship if you want to.
Just be a Jedi. You get a lightsaber.
Well, I mean, I think the engineers will most likely be parents, and then the kids will be pilots, or so.
Yeah,
exactly. That's my problem. I want to have the fun role that the kids are supposed to get.
It's just a group of 6 teenagers that all want to do stupid stuff.
Well, they all have to choose. But anyways, getting back to the ride, there are going to be 200 plus buttons around the cockpit. Each one of them does something different, and you can press every single one.
There's going to be Easter eggs. I guarantee it. There's going to be bun combinations that do Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah, easily.
No, joking aside, it seems like a fun attraction. So,
and also, depending on how well you do, if you do really well, you'll be able to receive galactic credits to be able to purchase things in the land. Or if you do really bad, you will be hunted down by a physical live actor bounty hunter.
Mm.
That's honestly the really cool thing about Galaxy's Edge that I think that they're going for. Like the fact that it's like you're actually in the universe and they're going to have actors. Okay. It's not Scary Farm. It's not Scary Farm. Even though if Disneyland did do a haunt attraction, it'd probably be the best one in SoCal, but still.
And then also the second attraction, it's called Battle Escape, I think. And there's going to be 600 animatronics. And 600. It's a trackless dark ride. Yeah, 600.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know it was a trackless one.
2 full-size AT-ATs. It's funny, though. Both the rides have 6 seats per, vehicle.
Supposed to be the same group that you're going with each time. That's why.
It's just weird.
Didn't they have to build the building around the AT-CTs?
Yes, they had to build the building around the AT-ATs.
AT-AT, I'm sorry. I don't...
AT&T.
Yeah, you could see them on the freeway. They were first building the building.
Only if you have good signal.
Mario.
Net neutrality, brother.
Okay, so yeah, I can tell you guys don't care about Disney, but that's okay, because I like Disneyland a lot. Right? Yeah.
I like Disneyland.
I
just don't
Disney.
go that
I just
much.
haven't been in a while, yeah.
And I was more just poo-pooing on Galaxy's Edge. I think it'll be fun, but I genuinely don't think that having another shooting dark ride is a good idea.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I really wanted to see that patented idea where it was literally a controlled suspended coaster.
I have not seen
to make it swing like you swing. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've seen the controlled spinning single rail coaster thing. You know how they have those flat rides that go in a circle and you have a joystick to lean forwards or backwards?
Yeah.
Belmont.
Yeah, they have a coaster version of that where you're going around a full circuit, as opposed to just a single circle, and you can tilt forward and backwards. Fun stuff.
Indeed. Oh,
that would be better than a shooting dark ride.
Yeah, true. I just feel like it's weird because it'll be compared to the Islands of Adventure dark ride for Spider-Man, and that's going to be way better in just general because it's a Sally,
Maybe they'll surprise us, but
maybe. But I'm not expecting too much out of it.
Me neither.
It's not going to be an insane attraction like Star Wars.
It seems
it's
more
going to be
filler.
just a filler.
Yeah, exactly.
Which kind of stinks, but I mean, it's not supposed to be as big as Galaxy's Edge, at least for the first phase. I mean, once they get to phase 3 and it takes up that entire quarter of the park, then okay, yeah. But yeah, within the first year or two, it's going to be nothing too special. It's going to be pretty much like Bugs Land, at least in size and importance, I guess.
Without the bugs.
Well, I mean, Ant-Man's going to be in the area, so. Oh, actually, he's getting a microbrewery, by the way.
Just because it has the word micro in it?
Yeah, and there's going to be a giant beer can, too.
Oh, God. What do you think of Marvel Land as a whole? I don't think it's sustainable.
I don't know if it is either, because it's going off of characters that have been built up over the past 10 years, and half of them are probably not going to last the next 5.
Right.
And they're going to be replaced.
I mean, that's a problem with IPs in general.
Yeah, true.
That's why Bugs Land didn't last.
Yeah. Also, that was just one movie instead of, a trilogy or whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, it's been overshadowed by so many other Pixar films that it was really hard to remember A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
So, but then again, that was opened in 2003 when Bug's Life was 5 years old.
You like jazz?
What?
What? This is not even the right movie company.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be wildly successful for about 10 years, I think. But I just don't know that it's fully sustainable.
Until all the Avengers have been replaced with different people.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Captain America is not going to last for another year. Literally. Like, his contract is done next year.
Interesting.
For Chris Evans. And supposedly the e-ticket Avengers coaster is going to be mainly about Captain America. How long will that last?
Really? Interesting.
At least that's what's rumored. It'll be based around the Avengers, but it'll be mainly Captain America. So,
why don't you just be mainly screens, and then the actual ride experience would change throughout each Avenger movie that comes out.
I wonder if that's why they're going with the primarily screen-based dark ride.
Possibly.
I'm shooting dark ride. So that they can change it so it doesn't get as
and then
outdated.
Before you know it, you have Miles Morales instead of... Oh, man. Oh, I'd like a Miles Morales shooting dark ride. That I'd be okay with.
I don't know who that is. It shows you how much I know about Marvel movies. Or whatever it is that you're talking about.
Christ.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, no.
That's Miles Morales.
Oh, I know it is.
And the comics, but
I'm talking comic Miles.
Oh, did we want to talk about Knots at all?
Oh, yes. Let's talk about that real quick. So Knots, so Knots, if you didn't know, is supposedly going. Well, they were supposed to tonight, November 6th, announce what they're getting in 2019, but that has not happened, for some reason. So we know it's going to be Bigfoot. We know that already. We've known that for a while. Now we just don't know what the theme is going to be for the new revamped Bigfoot attraction. So, what do you guys think it's going to be? I'm definitely thinking it's not going to be dinosaur themed anymore. Like I said the other night, I definitely don't think it was, or I don't think it's going to be.
But then what dinosaur. Else could the lizards mean?
Dang, I was at Knott's today. I should have looked over there.
Wait, you didn't look over there?
Dude,
no.
What?
The lizards are moving, by the way, slowly but surely.
Yeah, they kind of move their tails a little bit. Now, I don't know if this podcast will come out before the announcement is actually made, because supposedly it might have been postponed because of elections today, because there was the midterm election today. So that would make sense that they postpone it. I don't know why they were going to announce it on the same day anyway.
They didn't think it out.
No, they didn't think about that, which is really kind of dumb. No one's going to be paying attention to that announcement when the midterm elections are going on, are arguably the biggest midterm elections that we've seen in the past. Well, at least in our lifetime.
Yeah, but we're coaster nerds and amusement park buffs. We care a lot more about this than the elections.
I know. But we're not the main group that they're going to be looking for to announce to. Especially news-wise, they're going to try and get it on the news cycle. And that's not going to happen with an election going on.
You know what I think it's going to be?
What do you Zach, shut your mouth. All right.
It's going to be an Intamin Blitz.
Intamin Blitz.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
With water effects.
Dude, no, it's going to be an RMC Raptor. Dueling.
It's going to be a dueling Blitz Raptor.
Dueling Blitz.
Well, it's going to be an Intamin Blitz that has water effects like Maverick. So, cool. Yeah. It's also still going to get you wet, so they're not even losing a water ride. Case closed.
Oh man, we're getting tired.
It would genuinely be cool to have somewhat of a not even mini blitz, but something that just kind of goes through the trenches with water running underneath it, kind of like a cheetah hunt type situation, honestly.
That would be cool, but
it's obviously not going to happen, but it is definitely possible.
I mean, we know it's going to be Bigfoot, though.
Yeah, obviously.
We just don't know what the retheme will be.
You guys just don't want me to dream.
Yeah.
No.
It's okay. I dream of a blitz every day, too.
Same.
You haven't even been on one.
Even more reason to dream about one. I'm with you there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude, high five.
Just hits his mic.
Oh boy.
What do you think it's going to be, Drew?
Oh, it's not going to be dinosaurs, that's for sure.
Well, it should be dinosaurs.
It could if it's in the cave.
Oh, you know, we
yeah.
talked about this the other day. We just weren't recording a podcast, but I thought it would be cool if it's just kind of like a traditional Wild West theme where, you know, you have people like shooting at each other and then some water effects go off as if the bullets hit the water and stuff like that. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Just like Pirates of the Caribbean, but Wild West style.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be cool.
And it'd be fast paced too.
Yeah, it would be.
Fast paced Pirates of the West. That's what it's going to be called too. That's the title.
Pirates of the West. There we go.
I don't know. I just don't want to see. I honestly don't want to see animatronics from the walkway.
Unless I think Wild West animatronics is fine, but I agree with your point.
Unless they're really well done.
I don't want to see animatronics from the midway if it's dang darn dinosaurs.
True. No, that's I agree. I don't want to see anything besides like traditional animals from that walkway.
Right.
Like I don't want to see human animatronics. I just feel like that wouldn't be. I don't know. I just feel like they wouldn't be good enough to justify everyone looking at them and taking a long time to stare at them, you know?
Well, I'm trying to think where you would put them to have them be hidden from the walkway, because a lot of that ride is visible. I guess you could have a bunch of trees in front of the ride.
Which it looks like they're already starting to plant in a bunch more trees. So
I don't think animatronics would really ruin the aesthetic, in my opinion.
I just feel like it would be weird seeing like a human animatronic trying to shoot at the water and then always doing it over and over again.
I guess. Have a live actor in there instead.
Have the whole Mog ride fiasco happen all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's about that time. We've been talking for how long, Mario?
100 minutes before editing.
Fair. And I hope you guys have, if you really stayed this long, holy cow.
I will.
Great job.
Give you a high five.
But yeah, just thank you guys if you've stayed tuned this entire time. I know we kind of went all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed this new format for the podcast.
Let us know what you guys think about the things we talked about.
Yeah, obviously let us know what you guys think about all of this, as well as letting us know what you think of this new version of our podcast. If we need to change it at all, if you'd like to see any changes, let us know. My mic quality will change within the next 2 or 3 probably, just to let you guys know. And yeah, I enjoyed this. Boys, did you?
Yeah, that was cool.
I had a blast.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of candy.
Okay, Mario.
Reverse blast coaster.
Oh, but yeah, thank you guys for watching so much. And any last word, boys?
Subscribe to Mostly Coasters.
Yes, actually do that. Like, subscribe to Mario at Mostly Coasters. Do it. Like,
and subscribe to Cali Coasters.
Yeah, you can do that too, I guess.
Yeah, subscribe to Cali Coasters.
We might post something.
That's our slogan, just like Cali Coasters, most coasters, we might post something.
But awesome. Thank you guys for watching. And of course, as always, we'll see you on the next ride.